The crowd cheers as the champion of Macragge enters the battlefield. Yes, it is I, Cato Sicarius, and I, Cato Sicarius, will be the victor in this grim dark battle. Thank you, thank you. A bit full of yourself, aren't you? Imhotep chimes in. After being defeated on Damnos, you have nothing to be prideful about. This pisses off Sicarius, and he unsheaths his blade. He takes his battle stance. 3, 2, 1, begin. Imhotep takes no time, and he unleashes his nanoscarabs as they swarm towards the Ultramarine. Cato fires a few shots into the swarm as he slices through them and into the Necron Lord. The Tempest Blade connects multiple times with the necrodermis body of his opponent. However, he's healing too quickly. With a whoosh, Cato is engulfed in flame as Imhotep's gauntlet of fire is unleashed. But this flamer literally doesn't faze the seasoned captain. Cato continues his barrage, but to no avail. Now the remaining blood-swarmed scarabs have begun eating away at his armor. In frustration, Sicarius heaves a mighty slash, attempting to pierce Imhotep's mechanical heart. But the blade simply phases through him. Just give up, Imhotep tells him, but Sicarius does not yield. He fires a salvo of shots of plasma into his enemy, so much so that his pistol overheats and blows up. Sicarius then staggers as he begins to cough. Blood? Huh, the scarabs are now eating him from the inside. He kneels and looks at the floor in defeat. Have you finally accepted your fate? Imhotep asks. Well, let me end it for you. Imhotep aims his staff at the Marine. A blast pierces clean through Sicarius' midsection, and the once proud Marine falls. You were indeed tough, but are you tough enough to survive the weapon that kills a star god? And just then Sicarius throws a grenade, and in the blink of an eye, a pitch-black tear in reality opens up and swallows whole the Stormlord into its never-ending abyss. The winner, Cato Sicarius.
What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and today I'm back to talk about Warhammer 40K. Once again, we're talking about the grimdark battles, and we're seeing if the victors remain the victors so many years later. So if you don't know what grimdark battles are, they're basically a budget version of Death Battle, where I pit two warriors of the 40K universe against one another. I look at their weapons, their war gear, their tactics, their feats, and I see who comes out on top in a mock battle. So what you heard was my mock battle between Cato Sicarius and Imhotep the Stormlord, and honestly, like, the Space Marines have so much going for them, they pretty much win without any breaking a sweat. Like, they have a bunch of ass pulls, plot armor, they're Mary Sues, say what you want, but Ultramarines are GW's baby, and they're never gonna lose. Now, in all, looking at things logically, I gotta give it to the Necrons. The Necrons are near invincible with their repairing. They have really weapons and armor that defy physics and logic. Honestly, Sicarius should have lost when the nanoscarabs went inside him and were eating him from the inside out, but just like his battle went with the Shard of the Nightbringer, he used some plot armor to use a void grenade to destroy the Nightbringer, and that's exactly what he did in this battle, which is why he won back then. However, I'm giving it to the Necrons nowadays. The Necrons just have so much technology, so much insight into bending the laws of physics. Honestly, they could just phase out of any damage they're gonna take and then phase back into reality, pluck out Sicarius' heart, and kill him just like that. This honestly shouldn't be any contest. And that's pretty much what happened when Imhotep fought against High Marshal Helbrecht. Helbrecht lost time and time again, but the Necron let him live because it was fun. So let me know if you guys agree with the way this battle went, and if you agree with me changing the victor to Imhotep in this one. And with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and look at the other Necron battle that pits the Drukhari's Mandrake against a flayed one.
The Necrons assaulted the cathedral world of Ilios, and only after a single day, 98% of the Imperial population had been exterminated. The main Necron force then left the planet, leaving the scraps of humanity to be hunted down by the Necron flayed ones. With all the death and destruction caused by the ancient Xenos, somehow a lone cathedral still remained intact. It stood as a last beacon of hope, and with it, a handful of humans prayed to their god Emperor for salvation. Their prayers quickly turned to screams as a Necron flayed one burst through one of the paned glass windows. As it came closer, its claws dragged across the concrete walls. One of the church's apostles stood before the Xenos. Trembling, he spoke. "I have no fear for you, for the god Emperor A single-bladed finger pierces through the apostle's mouth. With a slow motion, the Necron brings his arm down, cleaving the apostle chin to stomach. The other humans watch in utter horror as the Necron begins to skin the apostle alive. The flame of the candles within this cathedral flicker as shadows are cast along the blood-soaked ground. A black arm then reaches out from within, and an unspeakable monster emerges. It stretches out its other arm, and a bluish-white energy is sucked out from one of the horrified humans. This human falls frozen stiff to the ground. The energy taken begins to wreath itself across the mandrake's left arm into a ghostly green flame. The flayed one locks eyes with the new creature as blood drips off of its freshly adorned flesh. A blur of movement, and then clang! The mandrake's rusted cleaver connects against the Necron's metallic body. To his surprise, no damage has been done to the enemy before him. He tries again and again, but the mandrake's attacks manage to just shove the Necron around. Sparks fly as the cleaver shatters against the flayed one's claws during its counterattack. However, the claws not only broke the cleaver, but also managed to pierce the chest of the mandrake, drawing blood. The flayed one then pounces forth, but it becomes engulfed in an ethereal flame. As it falls motionless into a burning heap, another human falls dead. The mandrake walks over to a shadow and reaches inside. It then pulls out a scythe and wreathes it in this ghostly flame once again. He puts the blade across the still burning Necron. In a swift motion, beheads the ancient Xenos. The mandrake smiles as he turns to face his new terrified victim, the last remaining human. Shinked! 5 bloody claws then pierce straight through the mandrake's face, as the charred flesh falls off of the newly reanimated flayed one. The last thing the human saw was the bloody claws of the Necron and its new black and green flesh suit. The winner of this grim-dark battle is the Necron flayed one.
This next battle is a little bit different because it's not named characters. They're just generic warriors of their respective races. The Drukhari Mandrake is so obscure because these guys haven't had any limelight in years. I'm pretty sure a ton of you guys didn't even know they existed. And the flayed one, it's almost like an outcast because it's not like a Necron warrior because they are a little bit off. They like wearing the skin of their enemies, which goes against what Necrons are, just protocoled exoskeletons going towards a directive. So this was a pretty interesting one because it took place during Halloween, so I tried to make it a little bit more eerie, a little bit more flavorful in that battle, but I still think the victor is the same as what happened here. The mandrakes, they get powerful off of fear, and it's hard to do that when Necrons don't really have emotions. So just by thinking about that, they were already put in a huge disadvantage, but I still, like, there's nothing the mandrake can do because they just use regular, like, blades and sickles and stuff like that to actually damage the flayed one. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna keep it 100% and still believe that it's impossible to take out the flayed one with just a single mandrake. So let me know if you guys agree with that. Let me know if you actually enjoy hearing these battle reports, ask death battle thingies that I do, because it's fun to think about. It's fun to talk about making these mock battles and putting all these characters as like you know the characters, but it's interesting to see how they would do in a 1v1 fight. So let me know what you guys think down below, and I've got at least 2 more of these to come. So again, if you want to see the grimdark battles, there is a playlist that I'll put at the end of the video so you guys can check it out. And of course, we do have tons more 40k videos to come out each and every day, so hit that subscribe button, like, comment down below, and don't forget to share. As always, I'm the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.